So I'm working on my 1997 GMC 1500 two-wheel drive for the 350. Haven't had air conditioning since, I don't know, probably 2010. I thought I could live without it, but I can't. Near Dallas, Texas, and it's July 2016, so was wanting to actually get this done in the springtime, but just hadn't happened yet. So here's the interior, ready to take down the dash and replace the evaporator. I wasn't planning on having to do that, but whenever I was trying to take out the line from the condenser to the evaporator, and I've seen other posts on YouTube about this, the fitting here gets super corroded. So what I actually had to do with the accumulator is just cut it off with a little cutoff wheel, and actually it was kind of hard because it's pretty tight back there, but as you can see, the line actually kind of got twisted as I was trying to loosen it, and same thing for this bottom line down there. I just couldn't do it, so I had to cut it off. Luckily, a new accumulator dryer is only like $25 or so at O'Reilly's. So I thought I was just going to have to replace stuff in the engine compartment, but turns out I'm going to have to take out the dash and replace the evaporator. So there's other posts on YouTube about how to uninstall the dash. Pretty much you need about 4 sockets. 7, 10, 13, and 15 millimeter will take care of everything for you. So there's quite a few 7 millimeter bolts to hold the lower dash housing, and I mean, all that should be pretty self-explanatory. One of the things that you do need to do is drop the steering wheel. So there's actually a little connecting brace from there to there. It doesn't look like it would come out, but it does. There's 4, I think either 13 or 15 millimeter bolts there holding it in. And then there with the steering bracket, trying to get it here without my hand being in the way. Right there, there's a bolt that goes through and a nut on the bottom, so you gotta loosen that, take it out, and then just kind of yank on the steering wheel to get it to come out. So mine's just dropped right now. And actually what I've had like the hardest time doing is I actually lowered the dash, but it was hanging up on one of the part of the wiring harness, I guess, under here. Kind of hard to see. It's actually this fat black one right there, and so what I actually had to do is then go back in to the engine compartment and loosen up some bolts so that I could, the white piece back there is actually what bolts to the firewall. So there's 2 7 millimeter bolts. So I actually had to loosen that to give me slack on that big black line with all those 100 wires. And I think now I should hopefully be able to drop the dash down and continue. So it was a super pain in the butt to, there's where the hole is, to disconnect all the little fittings and stuff right in here. I took out the, I don't know, whatever that is, maybe the brain of the computer of the truck. So now I'm gonna try and drop the dash again and see how we are. See if I can get my phone here to do this right. Actually, I want to start on that side. So I'm just taking out the two 13, I think they're 13 millimeter bolts. That kind of where the hinge is for the dash to pivot down. And cross my fingers for a little bit of luck. Come on. That's better. Now what's it resting on? My CD player? Yep. Son of a bitch. Well, I think what I might do then is just put it back up here for a minute. Take out the CD changer. Screwdriver. Put this thing in a long time ago, probably like 2000. Actually, wonder if I can just leave the brackets in there. Damn, I used some long screws. All kinds of different screws. Of course, this one wants to get stuck on the fabric, I think. Pain in the butt. I think it's just caught on all the fabric now. Alright, and I guess can I just unplug you? Kind of hard thing to do is finding space for all your crap that you're taking out. All right, let's see. We can keep going now. Hopefully the steering wheel is not gonna be an issue, because there was a lot of connections in that I didn't want to have to take apart to like completely move it. Actually kind of heavy. All right. So it's down, and what it does is it pivots on this guy right here. There's like a little white pin right there. So I don't know if I actually have to take the whole thing out. I probably do, because I mean that's like the whole assembly right there. I've already disconnected some of the stuff earlier, some of the connections. So we'll see. And of course it's raining now, and or sprinkling, I guess. And the way that I have the dash out, it doesn't quite, the door won't quite shut. So didn't necessarily want to have the door open while it was sprinkling. But I don't know what it's called, the whole assembly where the evaporator is and everything. So it's held in by, I think, 4 bolts out here. What is it? 10 millimeter bolts, and then there's actually one here that you get to from inside that I was having a little bit of difficulty figuring out, because I loosened up the other 4. The other 2 are right there and there, and it was, you know, pretty loose but not quite. So I've finally found that tricky one indoor or inside. And then the other 2 things that I didn't realize I was going to have to do is disconnect those 2 lines with coolant. So they were kind of a pain in the butt to pull off, and of course with old rubber I wanted to be careful that way I didn't crack it and then have to replace those lines. So now I got antifreeze in the driveway, but oh well. So it's actually starting to rain a little bit harder, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pause for a little bit.